Staying on the subject of puppets, we'll take a look at this clown here. I'm going to show you a clip of Ed Miliband. What's important is not what he says, but how many times he says it. Just watch this.
These strikes are wrong at a time when negotiations are still going on. But parents and the public have been let down by both sides because the government has acted in a reckless and provocative manner. After today's disruption, I urge both sides to put aside the rhetoric, get round the negotiating table and stop it happening again.
I listened to your speech in Wrexham and you talked about the Labour Party being a movement. A lot of people in that movement are the people who are on strike today, and they'll be looking at you and thinking, well, you're describing these strikes as wrong. Why aren't you giving us more leadership as a leader of the Labour movement?
At a time when negotiations are still going on, I do believe these strikes are wrong. And that's why I say both sides should, after today's disruption, get round the negotiating table, put aside the rhetoric and sort the problem out. Because the public and parents have been let down by both sides. The government's acted in a reckless and provocative manner.
Well, I spoke to Francis Moore before I came here, and the tone he was striking was a very conciliatory one. Do you think there's a difference between the words they're saying in public and the attitude they're striking in private in these negotiations? Are there negotiations in good faith, would you say?
What I say is that the strikes are wrong when negotiations are still going on, but the government has acted in a reckless and provocative manner in the way it's gone about these issues. After today's disruption, I urge both sides to get round the negotiating table, put aside the rhetoric, and stop this kind of thing happening again.
It's a statement you've made publicly, and you'll make to me, and this will be broadcast, obviously, but have you spoken privately to any union leaders and expressed your view to them on a personal level, would you say?
Well, what I say in public and in private to everybody involved in this is get round the negotiating table, put aside the rhetoric and stop this kind of action happening again. These strikes are wrong because negotiations are still going on, but parents and the public have been let down by the government as well, who've acted in a reckless and provocative manner.
You're a parent, I'm a parent, a lot of people watching this will be parents. Has it affected you personally, this action? Has it affected your family, your friends? I mean, and what is the net effect of that going to be on parents having to take a day off work today?
I think parents up and down the country have been affected by this action, and it's wrong at a time when negotiations are still going on. Parents have been let down by both sides because the government has acted in a reckless and provocative manner. I think that both sides should, after today's disruption, get round the negotiating table, put aside the rhetoric and stop this kind of thing happening.
All right. 5 times. 5 times he said exactly the same thing. Now, what that tells me is that those words have been written down and pretty much learned. And I would ask the question, who has written those words? Has he written them and learned them? Someone else written them and learned them? If someone else has written them and he learned them, that means he's 100% a puppet. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he wrote them down and learned them. Is that the behaviour of a leader? Not in my opinion. The only thing that we should be saying to the likes of Ed Miliband, and I would include David Cameron, Theresa May and Hague and the lot of them, the only question we should be getting involved with them is take me to your leader. That's it. Because he's not the leader and neither is David Cameron. And this is what we need to be exposing in British politics. The fact that they're all puppets and are answerable to unseen puppet masters.
Hello everybody, back again on a pit stop with Amy. Wow. What a day, you know, just the whole thing, just not good, is it?
Not good at all, Karen, I know. There's more hype about the virus, and here every day when I check my email, I get more notifications about more things.
Yeah, everywhere you go, if you go to the news or whatever, it's got a big red sign up going, virus information. Look here.
Yes.
It's so hard, because what it is I've got this video about Spanish flu, and it happened in 1918. It was a form of influenza, so flu, which is what this other thing is. And it actually said, you heard it, didn't you? It killed, they thought, up to 50 million or 500 million, whatever it was millions.
Yes, that's right.
But this came out in only a couple of days ago. They've put this video back out, or put it out, and they're linking it to the virus. And it's a bit strange that comes out. So basically, it looked like we went down into complete quarantine. But I think people, like, they were showing you people with stretchers and that, like, they were trying to help. But that would have affected an economy, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And just like this is going to affect our economy.
So it's a bit like we're having Spanish flu time 100 years later.
Yes, that's right. That's a great point. Yes, it's horrible.
Well, when I was talking to Cece. Oh, sorry, carry on. Yeah, when I was talking to Cece earlier on.
Oh, no, I was just saying.
No, carry on. Finish off, Amy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's like how this virus is doing, or at least they are promoting all kind of panic about it and everything, but it's probably just some kind of a flu that could be going around, because this is the flu season, and then they're gonna try to say it's some kind of mysterious virus that's taken.
But you know what? On that one, someone was talking to me. Oh my goodness, I can't even remember who it was now. They was, actually, I do know who it was. They were saying, well, Italy, it's 28 or 30 degrees in Italy. So this virus lives in cold environments. And what they're saying is that it goes up your nose. And because your nose can be almost as cold as the air outside, but I mean, that means you'd have to be standing outside. That's how it can go into your body. But if it's 28 degrees, then it's too hot for that virus to work.
That's right. Exactly.
So Italy, Spain, and those places are all out because they're too hot.
That's right. That's a great point.
I don't think people are noticing that. They're just listening. Oh, it's Italy. Oh, it's France. Oh, these countries, especially south of France, are a lot hotter. That'll be in the 20s. So all these places are too hot. I mean, they did show you a map with Africa. Africa doesn't really have it. Only the top part, but not the bottom part. And you're like, what? Well, it's probably because it's too hot.
That's right. Exactly.
But I don't think people are noticing or looking at it properly. But that,
They're not.
But isn't it strange that suddenly we get, I didn't really notice. It's a bit like, suddenly we're finding out so much more about our history. It's not there, and then suddenly it's in your feed box.
Yes, that's right. But what do you make of that, how it's coming into our feed box all of a sudden?
Well, that video, the one with the 1967 one, that was there suddenly. And everything in there is what's happening now.
I know.
And then you've got other things. Do you find that, Amy, that things just pop up in your box?
I do. Yes, I do.
Sorry, it's not a box. They pop up on the page. But you know what I mean? They're just, I'll have a look at that.
Yes.
Well, it's on your home page.
Right, on your home page. And I just don't know. Are they trying to give us hints about it somehow? Like, it's just bizarre to me that all of a sudden it starts popping up on your YouTube feed.
I don't know, but that's it. I've turned you up a bit, Amy. You were a bit low then. Oh, that's much better, because obviously I can hear you, but other people might not hear you the same. But I've turned you up now.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe other people are getting these, but it's like we're being shown it in front of us. What's happening?
I know. Yeah, it's almost like they're kind of playing with us or just messing with our minds, because we have all this false information out there, and then all of a sudden we get it in our YouTube feed, all these clues about what it is that's really going on. It's just, I find it just amazing and very bizarre, because I can't understand how all of a sudden this comes in and we see these videos that show us how they make things up, and like that 1968 video showing how they create the news 5 years in advance. And so it's like all of a sudden we're also getting clues is what it seems like to me, is clues as to what's really going on with all of this. But it's very dismaying to me how many people are just buying into this whole thing.
Do you think it's crazy that you can't get the hand stuff when really, if washing your hands with warm water and soap kills it, you don't even need the other stuff, and yet everybody's gone mad and is buying it. So what do? Go, ch-ch. We'll do your hands and then go, hello, darling. You know what I mean? You won't be able to touch your family without putting that stuff on or something. They obviously decided, like they have their shopping list, like, right, we need so many crates of milk. Well, let's take those off. We need so many things of hand. Let's take them off too. And it's like, because, a lot of people are starting to try and make sure, my son included, getting his food online. And he's booked up so many weeks in advance now to make sure he's got his slot. So you can, at the moment, you can get it online. Well, that's quite amazing then, isn't it?
That's right.
And, this video I made, they showed these elderly people going into an Iceland's, but they're basically giving elderly people the first slots in the morning. But when you look at the queue, there's only about 8, 9 people. It's like, what? So, you know what I mean? If you're not thinking, you watched, oh my God, they were queuing outside Iceland's. They just got 8. They probably, those people were told to come in. They were coming in, but it's not a queue like you think it is.
Exactly.
And it just, like, for instance, with us queuing all that, they go to the world, look, the UK is queuing for food. But they're putting all these measures in.
That's right. Yes, they have the same thing here for the elderly. They opened the stores early so that the elderly people could go and get.
Yeah, they can go and get what hasn't been taken already.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, because I have a neighbor that I wouldn't call her elderly, but she falls into what we call senior citizens, and she was saying that they were restocking the shelves at the local supermarket, that they were opening at 6 o'clock in the morning for the senior citizens to be able to go and get whatever they need, and she wasn't going to go at 6 o'clock in the morning to do that. So, like, she's not really panicking or anything about it, but it's just it's like they want us to.
Someone wrote on one of the messages on one of the posts, they said, but what happens when they start telling us we're running out of water?
I saw that. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I know. My sister went to the store last night. She bought lots of bottled water. So I guess a lot of things were gone. They didn't have bread. They didn't have meat. They didn't have toilet paper. But she did stock up on the water, the bottled water. And so right now, I guess they still have it, but it is something to worry about. Of course, we have our tap water that we could use, but maybe people are afraid something will happen that we can't use tap water.
It does seem really strange that everything's going on. You look at YouTube, you'd never know except when you go to the news side of it, or you find a video with the virus on it. You'd never know YouTube is in on it. Like all these things are trundling along. And yet, they could close down the internet. They could do so many things right now. It could lead into it. We're going to war and da-da-da, and it's just, they could take it any way they want. And we already know they can do it because we already had a case last year, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right.
And that was all, it wasn't about war, but it was about telling the people that this had happened when it hadn't.
Exactly. That's right.
And it only just meant, I think it was you when you mentioned it about the fact her hair was so dated. And I thought,
yes.
Oh my God, yeah, because, there's, like, when you looked at it, there's always something wrong. Like, you knew, didn't you, really? But you maybe didn't put that into words. And then you think about it, and you think, her hair looked like it was 15, 20 years ago.
That's right, it did. Yes, they had planned that years in advance and then just released it in 2018. But I think they started maybe in the early 2000s planning it.
Yeah.
And we just don't know why they do these things, and and how they do it or why they do it, but it's just about.
But you know, don't you? It was to get a big audience. It was to get people going.
Yes.
If you don't believe in it, I'm going to string you up. And of course,
that's right.
You know, I was like you and me were protecting her, and then suddenly Diane's Drive wasn't Armchair Detective. Diane's Drive. And but I did see it on his channel, and then I started to break that down, and that turned into about 20 odd videos of what a load of rubbish they'd given us.
That's right. Yeah.
And then, you know, we talked about this before, but the discovery. Oh, someone's messaging me on Facebook. Sorry about that. Then you know, like the discovery document. We do talk about this quite regularly. Really, that case has never left me. But I wrote to the president over it. But it makes no difference how much truth you put out sometimes. And whereas everybody was watching my videos, YouTube decided to change everything for me when they did some changes, because they've done about 2 or 3 changes, and in it, one of them, my just the views on the videos had gone. Say it was 10,000, it went down to 100 because they changed the algorithm of the channel. So I'll never know now whether it is because I have changed subjects, but I don't think it is, because it was happening in the Watts case where overnight everything just dropped off.
Yes, because they changed those algorithms.
Yeah, and everybody knows, and they've been putting this into place for a while, and we've got another change at the end of this month, would you believe? And
that's right.
So out with CC, right? He was actually looking for toilet paper because they don't have that much. And I also think he likes to go out because going out for him, his wife's working, his daughter's doing her schooling, and then he can go out and then he can make a video, and he goes out, you know, he's in his car when he makes his video. So there's many reasons why he wanted to go out. Anyway, then he came across this video where this guy goes past a school and all these vans are there, you know, all those kind of vans. And he rings the number up and he starts asking a few questions like, what's happening at the high school? And are you, is this about 5G? And then the woman hangs up. That post is listed on the CC hangout I had in the car. I had with him, not his video, my video. With CC's looking for toilet paper.
Yes.
But, you know, he's quite convinced now that it probably is something to do with that. But I kept saying to him, why on earth would they put... that person's still messaging. They've got a lot to say to me.
Oh, my.
Why would they want to put those on schools with children? I just don't... What is it? They're the ones that could have been causing the ADHD or whatever. I'm not saying because some children have it when they're really young, but... Because of those, I mean, when I came across a website, when I did another video, because I could see this cell tower right next to where I was working, this site said, what you have to do is never ever have it near children and elderly people. Never have it near people at all. So they're putting it on our schools where the children are.
Exactly.
What are they doing? Putting waves in there which make these children hyperactive or narcissistic.
Yes, probably so.
What it is just the vibe in the school's not good. Oh, they're still going. Sorry about that. You know, we don't know what they're doing. I mean, we used to go out and play. The children now don't go out and play. Like,
that's right.
Are they giving them these waves which are saying, go to your iPad and go and look on YouTube, whatever it is? But
yes, that's a good point.
I suppose none of that matters today, though, does it, with this other thing now? Because that's just completely taken over.
Exactly, is right. And I just think it's obvious it's a huge distraction. And from the beginning, when I first heard about it, and I just thought to myself, they want to have people quarantined so that they could do something else. There's something else that's going on, but they want us to think it's this virus.
I said this to CC, right? Do you think they're trying to hook us into HARP? Because I mean, none of us know for sure. We're only watching videos that we've been shown. But they said that, you know, most countries now have HARP. Nearly every country has HARP. And once they turn it on, They become part of this grid which they use through the military. They can see holes in the ground. They can fire it over towns to make incite people. It goes on and on, the things they can do with it. Have they linked us into something like that? Is it part of the Tartaria or something else that's here? I mean, why do we have to be in our homes? What for?
Exactly. That's right. And it makes no sense that they
Sorry, they're still sending me messages.
Oh my goodness. But it makes no sense to me that they, like right now we have the bars and the theaters and the gyms.
Oh my goodness, they're still going. Sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, and so ever since Monday, they said that all the bars and the theaters and gyms have to close at 5 p.m. And
yeah, so you can go to work, you can go out to go shopping, but you've got to be in your house at 5 o'clock. It's like we've gone to war.
Yeah, and somebody said, well, you know, if it's a virus, does it only come out after 5 p.m.? Like, so that makes no sense either.
And Jin, do you remember Jin told us in Japan, although the schools have closed down for now, but let the children go and play outside. And he couldn't get over that. The Prime Minister, wherever he is, the leader was saying that. And you think, so many mixed messages. Why would he be saying that? He'd be saying, stay at home.
Exactly. And my sister talked to our postman and asked him, you know, is the post office going to shut down? And he said no, that they're considered essential and that they have to keep delivering the mail. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense. If there's
because the postman could be passing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if it was real. Oh my goodness, they're still going. I'm so sorry. That's another message. It's Astral. It's Astral Thief. He's messaging me.
He must have important information that he's sharing.
Yeah. And I mean, if that's the case, then all the people at the train stations, whoever's there, the guards and everything, well, they're going to close that down, aren't they? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Oh, at the end, God bless you, Karen. I must have done something good then. Well, that makes a change then. But anyway, yeah, these people then will be giving the virus. But it's not true.
That's right. And the longer it goes on, the more people that I know personally are just really believing it and buying into it. But they never tell us the names of anybody that has contracted the virus. Where I live, they said that a man... that he died from it, but they didn't tell us his name. Very generic, just a man from a certain county. Then a 5-year-old girl has contracted the virus, they said. So now our shopping malls have to close and all our public transportation has to close.
I do think, you know, you've said this quite a few times to me. It's about money. It's about, I think it's about 5G. It's about bringing in New World Order. I think the UN are going to step in. I think there's going to be civil unrest. Our economies. I mean, unless what it is they say it's falling. Self-isolation to the public, but behind like the curtain, economy all right? Yeah, okay then, and they carry on. I just don't know.
That's a good point too. It could be that as well. It's hard to say. It's just so. I mean, they've got to affect
some businesses, haven't they? Because you've got to almost see it happen. But in general, the big businesses, they're all protected, and so
that's right.
I don't know. And this is where they buy up all the little businesses.
Oh yes, and the little businesses are really suffering. Like Cece was saying in the video that you had mirrored, that he had gone to a little delicatessen that was not receiving any business at all, and they were so grateful to him for going there and giving them some business, because they're going to really suffer, the small business owners.
It's okay to shut everything down, but like. And then what it was is I had Boris on one of my videos. He was saying that, in a sense, children at school are safe. We've got to say that, hasn't it? Because they're still at school till tomorrow afternoon. But then it's now become apparent that we need to close the schools. And he said, well, anyway, we were trying to stop any more, bearing going on the national health and all this. And I'm thinking, what? So the children leave school and go to hospital, do they? What is he talking about? Why would they want to go to the national health? How can it be you're leaning on the national health because you've closed the schools down? You have to listen to what these people are really saying.
Yes.
I might have to put at the beginning of this one. I think I'm going to put it up, although we're talking about it now. It will have been at the beginning of the video. So what it was is they talked to someone that was trying to be the Labour leader a few years ago. Well, it might even be 10 years ago. And he gets, I can't remember which one he is. He's one of the brothers. Anyway, it'll be at the beginning of the video. And he says he's asked a set of questions, and then this person breaks down his answers. And all he did was say exactly, say he's asked 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
He answered it 5 times, but all he did was switch the words around. So he said exactly the same thing 5 times, and I was thinking, God, did I listen to that? Who listened to him say all that? Because he was just repeating the same thing over and over again, and this is what they're doing with the virus.
They are. They just repeat the same thing over, and I can't get over how many.
Hang on, Amy. Shall I play it to you so you can hear it? Yeah. So now me and Amy have listened to it again, and I played it to Amy, and I know Amy hasn't seen it; she's heard it. But Amy, what did you think of that? Then 5 times.
Yes, he said the same thing over again 5 times, just maybe in different ways, but the exact same thing. He was saying 5 times. He said the same thing, just in different ways. So it's like they tell him what to say.
What I'm trying to say is, I said to you, didn't I, that people are not listening to what these people are saying. It must be going in one ear and out the other, or they've got their target words. So they go pandemon, fear, virus, and the people only log on to those words and just hear these things, because you can hear, this guy, this video is, I don't know, about 6-7 years old, maybe a little bit older than that, but I just couldn't believe it when I saw that.
I know, and they people do. They just hone in on certain words, and that's it. And they just don't think to question what they're being told. They just listen to the same rhetoric over and over. So
you can see how easily it is to mind control the people.
Yes, and even when you listen to different television networks, they're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, over and over and over and over. You turn the news on, it's there. You turn the news, it's there. It's there. You can't get away from it. So the people that are promoting it are the news.
Exactly. Yes, it's the news.
Yeah.
And somebody said that, in America we have 3 branches of government, and somebody said that the media is the 4th branch now of the government. They're just
when we did that case, everything. Amy, when we realised, like for me, so the judges, the police, the courtrooms, the prisons. What else was it? Whoever it was involved in that case. The case. Yeah.
Yes.
So once you realise they're all in on it, and the media, you're like, oh my God.
That's right, because there's nowhere to go with it. Everybody is in one, and they're all cooperating together.
And the thing is, they must know we've woken up now.
Yes, I think they realize a lot of people have woken up, and so many people have bought into this virus, but a lot of people haven't. So that's pretty encouraging, I think, that so many people really have not bought into it. I think it does.
To me, Amy, Trump, Boris, and the rest—they're all the actors telling us.
Exactly.
If they were actors last week, the actors are telling us this now.
That's right. Exactly. It's very disheartening to do this to us. My sister was watching the news today, and she said that Trump said that it's not going to be too much longer until they have a cure for the virus. And I was just very disgusted by the whole rhetoric, that, so now they're going to have a cure. Well, what will that be? The vaccine? And meanwhile, they've just had everybody so up in arms, and so everybody is afraid for the most part. And even if you're not afraid about the virus, even if you're awake, we have to be very concerned about what they're doing to us. So it's very unsettling for everybody.
Comes vaccines, chips, documents.
Yes.
I mean, when the police, they're showing you in my French videos, and they're stopping and looking at their documents. That's the kind of thing they did in the war.
Exactly, and to make people get documents, where are they supposed to go?
I don't think that would be happening if it was real. I think it would be like, what are you doing here? Get home. Why are they looking at documents? For what?
Right.
Well, because they're going to the doctors. Well, everybody's going to the doctor then, are they?
Exactly. That's a great point. And, and I saw that in some places in America, that if you would violate the quarantine or the curfew or whatever, that you could get 3 months in prison, because they were saying in France, I think it was a fine.
Yeah,
but here they
139.
want to have people in prison, and our prisons. My dad used to always say the prisons are so overcrowded. How are they going to have room to be
And not
taking
just that,
people to prison?
Everybody that seems to be being arrested has got child trafficking in it. So what the hell's that? You're like, what are we living in? Come on, everybody. Child trafficking. I mean, for goodness sake, they've been doing it since... I can't think of his name. Neapolitan. I can't think of his name. Nelson. No, not Nelson.
Yes.
That's the English one. What's his name?
Napoleon.
That's it. Napoleon times.
Napoleon. Yes, that's right.
I mean, that's not new, but it's like, I just don't know where to put all this. It's just quite mind-boggling.
I know. And as you said, if they were going to be making all these arrests, that should have been public. They shouldn't be using this to be able to make the arrest. That's just ridiculous. It should have been public. So it's just more games and more mind control for the people.
Not just
and
that.
Not
just. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say now. I thought of something else. Amy, we have been going for that magic half an hour, because I know I'm going to be talking to you again. In fact, Jin wanted to know when to hook up again, and I know that Cece likes them. So we've got to arrange that hangout, so that'll be next week. I think I'd leave it till next week, because things might have changed. You never know.
That's right.
I just don't see how we come out of this going, oh, it's okay, it's only a 2-week blip, everything's all right. I just can't see it.
Exactly. Me neither. And then they said Denmark is going to be shut down for 3 months. So how is that going to work?
Why are they shutting each country down?
Yeah, each country. And my sister said, well, they'll just reopen it when the cure comes out.
Yeah, but they might not.
I said, once they've shut something down, they don't just reopen
today
it.
Yesterday and today we're in panic about it all, but in 6 months we won't be, when we've got soldiers going around in trucks around our housing estates and stuff. They're getting martial law. That's what they're getting right in front of us. We said we knew what would happen. Well, here it is.
Yes, we've been saying that, and I've been hearing that for a couple of years now, and it seems like they found their excuse. They made up their reason to put the martial law in, and I'm just
I saw it in a video a few weeks ago, Amy, where it said what it was is that you think that the one world order will be here through politics and all the rest. No, it's not. It's coming through the medical side of it, and here we are a few weeks later, and it's happening.
Yes, exactly. I can't believe it. I didn't think that I would see anything like this, anything so crazy in my lifetime. So it's just very disheartening and just pretty cruel to do this to the people.
Yeah, but we're empaths,
Uh,
aren't we? So it'd be the last thing we'd want to do is punish the people.
I know, that's right. But everything is ruled
You
by
know, me
money,
and Amy
and
are empaths, right? But we're here talking to the people because that's what we feel we should
yes.
do.
That's right. We just have to try to talk to the people and help them be aware and not buy into all of this panic and everything. But the thing is that they need to be aware of what's going on with this whole thing, because there's definitely some
Something
other
fishy, isn't
agenda.
there? There's something so fishy.
Yes,
But
exactly.
you know when they
And
do these things, they're not just doing one thing. I mean, I don't really want to go on about it too much because you know what they're like
right,
about 9/11.
right.
But 9/11 got the
Yes,
Patriot Act, got wars in Iraq,
yes.
made loads of money, the whole complex 9/11 gone. You know, it did a myriad of things all in one go.
Exactly. That's right, and that's what they're doing with this. It's all a whole myriad of
Package.
things. That's right. It's very
Because
multifaceted, I
they don't
believe.
actually do, when you've seen, I mean, although Boris is quite composed, he's not in shock because he knows what he's doing. They filmed this about 3 or 4
Exactly.
months ago.
Right. That's right. Same with Trump. Same way.
Does
He
he look
knows what's
shocked?
going on.
No, he's talking because it hasn't happened then. He's only talking about something that will happen, so he can't show any feeling because it's not happening. If it was happening right now, you'd find that they would be saying different things and doing different things.
Exactly. I agree. But they know they're all part of it, and they know what they're doing,
That's what I
and
think.
it's disgraceful. It's outrageous and disgraceful, in my opinion.
Yeah, in my
And
opinion
people
too.
have
But
enough.
we'll have to stop now because we're to
Yes,
be too disgraced to talk anymore.
yes, exactly.
Too much disgrace. But
That's right.
yeah, as you can see, talking with my friends, and I will be talking more to Amy. But Amy,
Yes.
thanks for the sort of chat and everything, and
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Karen.
thanks, Amy, and yeah.
Well,
Bye, everybody. Mwah to
bye,
Amy. Mwah to
everybody.
chat room.
Mwah.
Just hope that
Yes.
this stops soon, ASAP. Don't you think, Amy?
Oh,
I want it
yes,
over.
indeed. Me too. Yes,
But if the people
absolutely.
realise they're being lied to,